All right, man, let's get it going. It seems like I found a way to get perfect entries, but at the same time, completely destroying my capital. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but so today was a kind of a bad trading day too. In a way, I'm kind of redeeming it a little bit, but I took a few bad trades. I had a gold trade that went south, and it's unfortunate, because like I make some good money off of forex and all this, but it's just I don't position it up. I'm trying to stay a little bit minimal just because I'm trying to progress my entries and trying to get some good trades going and document that kind of stuff. But it's always funny because like with indexes and gold and things like that, the smallest size is always kind of the biggest loser. So if it wins big, but it loses big too. So I kind of have an issue with that situation at the moment. So for example, today I had a bad gold trade. I placed this buy trade. Now keep in mind, this stop loss here was actually more like this, but I just started to see these candles. I'm like, man, this is not going to reverse. And essentially the play was off of this kind of triangle pattern that was happening. It broke up on the upside, and I took this little trade that in the beginning I pussied out a little bit, but that's okay. So I figured I'll get back in on the retest over here on this wick candle down here, but it didn't play out that way. It just continued to go down. It did, however, start to get a bounce down here, but I was way past that trade at this point. Ironically, the original trade I placed, which I thought it was going to go bearish after a while. And by the way, the only reason I thought it was going to go bearish is, for example, you go down to the daily. This area here was huge like boost in terms of candles. Look at all these green, I guess, blue candles here. I kind of change the color just because it gives me less anxiety, but it is what it is. Anyway, so either way, it's going to come down to touch this little zone. So this would be like the kind of high buying zones if I want to go long. This would be the perfect buying zone. So if it comes down here, I'm a 100% buyer. I'll be doubling down positions, So anyway, the problem is the sizing on these indexes and gold, for example, even the smallest size. I'm trading small accounts just to perfect my trading a little bit better. But if it goes down just a little bit, it destroys me. Ironically, though, I went to, for example, Nasdaq, and I did actually place some good entries. Funny enough, my strategy so far has been pretty decent at scalping, but however, I don't prefer to scalp just because I don't have, like, my anxiety goes through the roof, especially when I watch minute or 5-minute candles and stuff like that. So I try to stick to the long term, 1 hour to 1 hour, 4 hour max. The minimum I'll go to is something like 15-minute, but whatever. But either way, I'm starting to see where these things start to react, and I got some good trades off of these bounces here. For example, if I go down to the 1 hour, I got some pretty good trades like this off of these bounces. Today, unfortunately for one of my accounts, has been kind of shit actually, because I got this bounce down here. So I picked up this kind of double bottomish thing that's happening here, and once it came up like this, I moved the stop loss to break even, which is around here, and it just tapped me out and went back up for that big run for today. It looks like it's flagging again, so I feel like it's going to go back up. I re-entered a position here. This is a bigger stop loss than I'm used to, but I think it's going to start running from here. This seems to be the place where it's reacting. And I made a video, I think last weekend or the weekend before that, where I talked about the key levels that I drew up, and it seems to be bouncing exactly at that point. Now, the big question is it going to go up over here, bounce back, and hit this bottom here? Now, if it hits here, things are either really wrong, and we got to check the news, and things are either really wrong with the economy, or it's just exhaustion phase, and I'm really going to double down. So based on what the news is and all this, I'm going to double down, because if you see here, you have this kind of like, symmetrical, asymmetrical triangle here. It did retest and go back up, but you're going to still get some kind of a test over here if that's the case. So we'll see how it is. But right now, my other account, it's a more of like an algo account. And that account already placed a trade over here. Actually placed 2 trades just down here, and there's another buy order down over here where the other account is concerned. But the idea with that one is I'm going to start holding this actually. So like, for example, the idea is that for indexes and gold and things like that, they tend to run, right? So really you can day trade indexes, and a lot of people do make lots of money and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I find that, if you increase your position size, you make tons of money, but you kind of get the same result if you hold it. Like if you do the math, the indexes are usually up more than they are down, and when they go down hard. So just doing the math, 6 out of 10 times, if you're going to stay up, it's better you just hold it, right? So as long as you don't blow your account based on position sizing, you can hold it, and it'll probably recover at some point. I did close all the trades from the algo account that started to place over here, so now it's at this key level, so I'm still in the game a little bit. Now, to kind of recoup a little bit, I think I lost about 15% or 20% of my account size today just because of this gold trade and a bad Nasdaq cap off. But I'm slowly getting back into it with the Euro USD. It's coming back into this area. It looks like it's kind of doing this triangle thing again. Now, it's a little scary if you think about it, because it's like, think about it. It's a big downturn right now. And realistically speaking, there's this big collection of orders here that I have a feeling that's where it's going to react to, but it still hasn't touched the body of this big sort of zone here. Although it did touch the key wicks that have not been mitigated yet. But outside of this, the next area is like way down here, man. Way down here. So we do have news events coming, so I think I'm going to start moving my stop losses to break even. But if you look at it here, right, this is my play right here for Euro USD. Although you see this kind of symmetrical triangle pattern here, the play here is really this. So you have this kind of like reverse head and shoulders. It retests the head and shoulders and goes up, right? Passes the neckline and all this. Has a couple more retests and then continues to go up. So I was going after the unmitigated blocks essentially. So where it didn't come back down to retest. So for example, it kind of moved up here and then just bounced back up, right? So it did not retest over here. So I'm in this. And I feel like that's why it's placing all these orders here. So if you look at it here, it's just congestion, just congestion, right? And if you really think about it from a Euro USD perspective, which likes to range and then retest, there's range here, goes up, retests, and then starts going up again. So I'm trying to play this symmetrical triangle as an upside thing. So for example, if it breaks up, comes back down, I'm going to buy some more positions here, which is this one here is kind of like where it's placed for that. But if it breaks down, I will close everything and just watch. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at. Another one I lost actually is GBPNZD. Man, this was again, I would take these trades. I've been losing a lot of these, but I feel like I would take this normally. So I'm not really sure what to do here, but for example, it came down over here on Sunday, and I took it, man. Like, I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like, for example, I placed this block over here, and mainly this was because, for example, you have a left shoulder, head, and then a right shoulder, and a reverse head and shoulder goes up, crosses the neckline, comes down, and retests. So it was over here at that point. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's buy it. So I bought this, and I placed another position over here when it touched the right shoulder on the reverse head, but it just continued to crash. And, it's weird because you draw this out. If you actually look at this in a broader picture, right, this is kind of a support and resistance zone. So it's very deep into the support zone now. So I placed another order, and it seems to be doing good. So if you go down to the 15-minute, it seems to have a little bit of a bounce. It's clearly ranging over here, so I don't really know what's going to happen, but right now it's up, and we'll kind of track it from here. I do feel like it's going to bounce and react from here, just because, again, if you go back to the larger time frame, it is a rising sort of like play here. Like, right, it's ranging a bunch over here. So if it does go down, it'll come down and test these areas. But I feel like it's been sort of like on a bullish trend here since the 2023 almost. So you can't go back too far. Like eventually it's just going to be analysis paralysis, but that's the play. We'll see what happens. I think Nasdaq is really going to start bouncing at least back to this area, the zone over here that we were at in February, March. But once it comes over here, we'll see what happens. I feel like it's going to chop, go back down, test another key level somewhere over here, then go up. We'll see what happens soon. But I feel like this week might be another wash, just because we have Tesla earnings coming out tomorrow, and that shit's going to be eventful as per fucking usual. So with it being Tesla and stuff like that. So let's see what happens, man. Another thing is even Google and stuff like that is at very, very key levels. So it could either go up or go down. But whatever it is, we're going to start looking for retests and then go in the direction that it's going. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Hopefully that helps you out. Definitely helps me record some of these trades. So if you guys feel like I missed something, just let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, catch y'all later. Peace.
Motherfuck the big three. Nigga, it's just big me. Nigga, boom. I'm really like that. And your best work is a light pack.